come. They're finally putting the bed to our body drop square body project on the chassis for the first time. So the cab's pretty easy. It just bolts on the chassis. You have to make some modifications to the transmission tunnel and stuff, but at least you can bolt it on there and kind of get a look at where you're going. Can't do that with the bed. The bed has to come up 11 inches before you can even set it on there, because between the wheel wells you have C-notches and airbags and an axle that comes up through there. With the truck being body dropped, everything is so low, this needs to come up high to make room for everything to come up. Now, I chose to do the whole bed floor because that gives me more room for my air tank in the back, batteries, fuel tank, the air dog for the diesel motor. It just gives me all the room to put all the system stuff under the bed and basically have a nice clean installation. So I'm gonna go next door, get the truck out of storage, bring it over here, get it unloaded off the trailer in the driveway. We're gonna get this on there and finally see what this thing's gonna look like fully assembled and laid out in the driveway. Time to go grab the truck. Alright, you can see I gotta do some weed control. Pretty bad, I gotta come trim this, but I don't come over here a whole lot, so I don't look at it a lot. I gotta spray the weeds in the gravel too. There's the 82. That is also an original short bed diesel. That one's next. But the one we're going for is this guy right here under the cover. We're gonna bring that one home. So under this cover, it's been under this all summer, we have the truck. Check it out, barely fits on the trailer. It's all aired out on here. We're gonna get this thing home, take a look at it, see if there's any animals in it. I don't think so. Doesn't look like it. Check it out, no rust, no issues. It's been under this for a while. Pretty exciting. Let's get this thing hooked up, get it back home. Seriously, this gate that Larry built me is so badass. Those poles go 6 feet into the ground too. All right, let's get it home. Get this thing backed up to where it needs to go. Try to get it as straight as I can so it just goes straight into the garage. Perfect. And I am gonna stop short so that I could roll it off the trailer here. Honestly, I think that's about good. Let's go check. Looks about right. Should roll straight off into there. Nothing got wet, which is awesome. That was the goal. Looking good so far. Get these mirrors off carefully. The goal is to save the car cover. Yeah, we got no animals yet. Now here's the fun part. We got to air it up. Got an air chuck back there. Definitely a couple spiders, but I don't see anything major. Get that mirror back. And then we have an air fill right there that fills both the front bags. Come back a little bit more. Looks like my fender's gonna get a little close over here. Come back a little more. Fender's getting a little close still. I'm gonna try to get it turned a little more. Make sure this side's not getting close. Nope, we're good. Oof. That's where it gets a little bit scary. A little bit at a time. This thing is heavy. It's kind of slipping on that metal. I don't want it to come down too fast. Yeah, we're almost off. Oh, it's gonna come. Perfect. There we go. We're done. Completely out of the truck. All right, that was exciting. Bed's ready. Truck's almost ready. I got to put those risers, those wood risers under there on the back of the truck. But first things first, I got to build another cradle for the bed to pick it up with the engine hoist. I had one and I don't know what I did with it. It might be out in the shed. Go take a look. But you basically just take a 4x4 there, 4x4 there, 4x4 right in the center, and then just pick it up with the engine hoist and a ratchet strap, and it works really well. So I'll go find my stuff to build this. Here's what I do to pick the beds up. Just these 2 or 3 2x6s. I usually use 4x4s, but I ran out of 4x4s. They don't flex as much. These flex just a little, but it ain't going nowhere. And you just pick it up at a point. So I leave that center section. I don't screw it down. I just leave it loose so I can move stuff around. And with the tailgate, we are nice and balanced right there. Gives us a nice even bed. So now we're gonna come out here and get it on this. So now you can kind of see why we have the issues. So the bags are like all the way up right now. I need to pop that airline off and get a better airline on there so I can get underneath it and fill it up and lower it and all that stuff. But for now, this is what we got. Here's our first kind of look. See, my line doesn't match up perfect there. I feel like the back has to come up, but we're gonna have to get the laser level off of those lines onto that line to do some measuring. Pretty sure the back has to come up a little. And you can tell the bedside hasn't been buffed out, and the cab has. I really just want to air it out now. We have a bed on it, and the bed looks sick. Oh my God, I'm getting excited. All right, I'm gonna get that stuff out of the bed, get the bed set a little bit better to the point where I think it's gonna be good. We're gonna go from there. Axle needs to come forward quite a bit. Bed gap looks pretty good. I'm gonna go measure it off my other one all the way down. I think we're pretty good on our line, but to know if your bed is straight, you can measure that gap, which is actually really good. It might be a little tight down there, so we might have to go a little higher in the back, but that's why I left these mounts at a point where we could shim, and we actually do look just a hair high on the bed. So we're definitely not done, and those are made out of wood, those risers, so those can be changed. That's what we're looking at. That's a fully aired up truck. Time to air it out. Well, let's get some air out of this thing and have a look at what we're dealing with. These are my fittings. They're just little Schrader valves, just for setting everything up. First, I'll just set it at ride height. That is roughly 2 inches off the ground. That's about where ride height is going to be. My rear Schrader valve is right here for now. Let's see. Get this about the same as the front. The front's a lot quicker with that diesel in there. A lot of weight. That's pretty close to what ride height is going to be. Might be up a little from that, but I doubt it. So we're going to be tuck and tire at ride height for sure. Now, we're also going to have level 1 that we're going to set up on the AccuAir that's like 3/4 of an inch off the ground. I believe this is going to be ride height, but I really got to get the AccuAir all hooked up and make sure that suspension feels good at this height. Because the thing about air suspension is we are all based on pressure. So if you're too skied out when you're driving it, too jacked up, you're gonna have a really bouncy, crappy ride. We gotta find that sweet spot, so we're gonna have to mess around with it. So let's go down to about 3/4 of an inch. Right about there. This is gonna be like number 1 on the AccuAir. Set it down for cruising on the freeway when you don't got anything in the way. Right about there. Right about there is going to be like the skating down the freeway height. Maybe a little bit lower, but I doubt it. That's actually pretty safe, I think. You know what's funny is I've never driven a bag truck, but we're tucking wheel up front, we're tucking cap in the back, and we're that high off the ground. Oh my gosh, I can't wait to get this thing on the road. All right, let's get it laid out. It's so low. It's like hip height all the way around. And that is a good reason why I was going to do a black bed liner in that bed. And now standing here, I could definitely tell you that was not going to be the move, because this is so high. It just would have been black right in your eyes. Yeah, this is definitely low. The back here is like at my hips. All right, I'll show you guys what it looks like. Okay, all aired out. For a bed height that was measured off the bed floor back in February, months ago, we're looking really good. Our line on our bed right there is definitely a little bit high, so we're gonna go through that. But it was measured off the bed floor, so honestly, everything's fitting up really good. That's aired out. We got pinch on the ground everywhere where we want it, all the way around. Let's check the other side. Look how nice that bed floor looks. And this is low too. I mean, this is like down at your hips, so when you're walking by this truck, you're really gonna see it. Oh yeah, we're down on the ground all the way through. It's hard to get to this side of the truck. I got a small garage, but that's part of the fun. Yeah, this thing, it's so weird to stand next to it. It's hard to tell on camera, but it is low. Everything worked out as far as where that is. Okay, so let's get into the fitment of the bed. That's the next situation when we're looking at this. So right there, the body's up a little. Right there, it's touching, which would make that bed gap needs a little bit of work right there. So not touching, which means the bed is going, which you can see the body line on the bed is a little higher than the cab. So what we're gonna do is make sure all that is set. So the way we do this, we need to jack the truck up, put it on jack stands, make sure the cab is where it needs to be, which 99% positive that cab ain't going anywhere. And then we set these bed mounts. So with everything all laid out on the floor, we can start getting a good look at what we're dealing with here. This bed floor came out so good. And the fact that this thing is like waist high is really good that I didn't bedline that. I wanted a black bedline floor. You could see there, I had this picture here of a black bedline floor and a patina tailgate. That is what I was gonna do to this. But once I got into figuring out how to make the scars in the bed and it started looking good, I was like, you know what, I'm leaving the original paint in there. And I'm really glad I did, because once we get, this is like lightly buffed, this whole bedside buffed out, and this floor buffed out, that's got a lot of buffing to do. I already kind of buffed the fenders. This whole thing is just gonna look good. And when you're looking at the truck laid out, all this is very visible. So here is basically what we got going. Let me get a light. All right, so all the mounts that we have, open this gas door, diesel fuel only. All the mounts are made of wood. Now, I just finished building these standoffs on the frame because they weren't on there when I got the frame. So we have to build these out of metal, and then these front mounts here are going to hold the air dog, and I think I'm going to put the batteries here in the middle. I don't think I want them in the back. Let's see if we can get some light up at the top so you can start to see. I'll get this thing up on some jack stands, but the fitment is great. We have like 3/4 of an inch off the top of all the fittings and stuff up there. The notches have tons of room. The bed's not going to touch anywhere. That all turned out really good. Now, inside each of these gas doors, I haven't decided what I'm doing yet. One's probably going to be battery switches, one's probably going to be air fittings and charger ports for the batteries, or one's going to be just air fittings and one's going to be charging ports and a battery switch. All the battery stuff on one side, air on the other. So the tailgate, it sits down at your knees, which is, or below your knees. It's like between your knees and your shin. See? Right there. Crazy. Underneath though, everything's going to fit really good. Again, wood mounts with some metal up there to give it the size we want. That's just all for mock-up. We're going to build those out of metal. That's the next project. You can see we already have our AccuAir tank. That's got the valves in it and everything. So really clean install. We just have to add some compressors. I got the brain in there for now for the AccuAir, but I don't know if I'm going to keep it there. I'm probably going to move it. I liked it there because I could get to it pretty easily if there was something wrong with the truck, because I want to be able to get to, if something ever happened to the brain, I want to be able to get to the wires to be able to manually make it go up and down, because the valves are in the tank, but we'll get to that later. So this rear area is also going to have the gas tank. So this whole panel here is going to get built. Probably going to have Greg bead roll it. Probably, well, I know I want the gas fill to come out in the center. So it's either going to come out there or come out the top. Either way, it looks really clean. I'd like to do it behind the tailgate, because kind of one of the goals with this truck is from the outside, if you were to walk up to this thing, is it looks stock, which I think we got done with the bed and everything. You don't see bead rolling in here. You just have like the factory stamping all the way around, and then you pop the tailgate and then you'll see some bead rolling in a custom panel. Same with under the hood. Under the hood, the stock hood, as long as we can fit that turbo under there, which is coming up here soon. And then you have the custom bead rolling and everything under the hood that's going to be custom. We won't even have boost gauges or anything in here because we're running the syndicate gauges. They have all the EGT and boost built in. Well, it's not built in. You have to buy the sensor, and then it's all digital. But that's basically where we're at with this thing. I think it looks killer. The lines are lining up really good. Next step is building these mounts back here and getting this bed locked in. Also, I know I did say this thing was going to go outside and get laid out in the driveway, but we are in Washington. Check it out. It is raining, so we can't deal with that today. But here it is, laid out in the garage. I'm going to get to work on these bed mounts, and I'll see you guys on the next video.